What's up, guys? It's New School Classics. We're back today on the R1. We're gonna take the R1 out today because we just had a rain spell, a pretty bad rain spell for about a week. So this is the first time she's been running in about a week. And just gonna take her out for a spin and enjoy. So if you like R1s, here you go, especially the new ones. Oop, I didn't even buckle my strap. Too focused on the video. Didn't even strap my helmet up. All right, there we go. This is why you need gauntlet gloves, guys. I've got like some squid gloves. All right, guys. It is extra windy out. There's just like some dense air out today. It's dense and cold. So I hope this audio cleans up. And I just downshifted, quick shifted from 4th all the way down to 1. That's what's good about a quick shifter. You can quickly just get out of here. And I can still feel the air, but it's like at the same time I'm sweating. Yeah, the bike's running at 165. Got to make sure these tires get warmed up properly too before I go crazy. It's like, yeah, if you're just walking around, it feels great. But when you're traveling 70 miles per hour through the dense, cold winter air in Georgia in December, it feels pretty cold. Kind of just feels like you're getting blasted with like freezer air. That's pretty much what it feels like right now. Imagine just like sitting on your couch and just your whole body getting blasted with air right from the freezer at high velocity. Yeah, this quick shifter, I feel like makes the bike a lot safer. There's just a lot less you have to do when you have to slow down or speed up quickly. It's a very quick reaction to just knock that shifter down a couple instead of like worrying about the clutch and all this. So the quick shifter is really like tolerant too. It'll pretty much do it no matter the RPM. Of course, sometimes it's just gonna, if you're in like first trying to go into second or second trying to go into first, it might, you gotta make sure it goes and doesn't go into neutral. Other than that, my only other complaint about this bike is that I found out after I bought this bike that the Kawasaki ZX-10R actually has cruise control, and it's actually a little bit longer of a wheelbase than this, which alludes to the effect that I might be in a more comfortable like sport riding position on that bike as opposed to this bike, because this bike I do feel really crammed. Here we get into a little more fun riding. feel like it can be somewhat dangerous doing YouTube channel on a bike and trying to think about, you know, talking about topics and content, because I also have to make sure, like, I don't get hit by a car or get in some kind of dumbass accident. So that's one of the reasons that makes my YouTube videos kind of difficult, because it's just me, y'all. You know, I do everything from, you know, working to buy the stuff to then, you know, doing all the work with the stuff myself, the cameras, the recording. I am the person being filmed, the content, then I gotta go edit it all. And I don't make a dime. It's actually costing me money to provide content. Obviously, there is just about 99% of the world that wants to, you know, make money from YouTube. So I'm a small fish in a big pond, but at the same time, it's like I do enjoy this stuff. Let's follow the Busa, because at least there's another biker. Follow the Busa. Where's he going? He's turning. Let's just see where he goes. Hey, nice Busa. Yeah, he doesn't look like a spirited rider. But yeah, if you're in the market for a newer sport bike, you know, they're all good. Except for, you know, the Italian bikes, you know, those are going to cost you a lot of money in maintenance. If you can't do it yourself, of course. So ooh. Definitely a fun bike to ride. I had to, that's one thing, guys, I can warn you about. It appears that the stock swing arm on this 2021 R1 that I paid about $20K for after tax, plus the minor upgrades and oil changes and stuff that I did. Damn it, go up, helmet. Stupid thing. My boot seems to like to contact this area sometimes when I'm riding. Boom, right there. But anyway, my boot likes to contact that area on the swing arm, the heel of my boot, and it seems to be like literally wearing right through the paint on the swing arm. And that's not cool. But anyway, I slapped a sticker over it in hopes that I won't do any more damage. Obviously, I want this bike to retain as much value as possible, as, you know, one day down the road it might be sold or traded, or, you know, funds added toward whatever else I'm trying to do. Yeah, sorry about the recent uploads too. I know a lot of my people subscribe for car content, and then I upload like 2 guitar videos in a row. But it's just something I've been trying to get back into a lot, and I really enjoy it. And I'm talking to some other musicians, and maybe, dude, form some kind of deathcore band, dude. I'm 33, so I wouldn't say I'm too old for that yet, quite yet. But even if I was, I think I'm gonna play instruments my whole life. It's just something I've been kind of naturally talented at. I am a lot better at guitar than I am at drums, but I do play drums also. But drums is something I've just recently jumped back into, and guitar is something that I've kind of stayed with my whole life. Was just too busy pursuing like cinematic video production and other endeavors to really kind of take guitar playing seriously. But I'm now at a stage in my life where I've kind of accomplished everything else that I think I've wanted to accomplish, and I'm ready just to kind of see if I can do anything with music. So I have a lot of focus on music right now, and I still have some focus left for you know, my vehicles and car content, of course. So I don't want to say it's taking secondary priority or anything, because it's not. But it does rain a lot here in Georgia, and I just need something else to do on the rainy days. You can't always take a bike out, you can't always take a slingshot out, but on the days where you can't, you can definitely get better at drums, or get better at guitar, or learn a new song on guitar, or something to that effect, you know. One of the great things about Georgia is you can ride year-round some years. Some years it snows like hell. 2017 was the last time it like really snowed though. Every other winter it's been pretty mild. We've only had maybe one snow day in the last couple of years. So this bike's got about 2,000 miles on her right now. Haven't had any issues, haven't had any problems. Like I said, the one complaint is the swing arm, and the second complaint is the fact that this bike is the same price as a Kawasaki, but the Kawasaki comes with cruise control, and this doesn't. So you just got to really like the R1s, I guess, for this price point, which I do. I love the crossplane. Sounds amazing. Boop. And that was really one of the main selling points. The crossplane. that quickly you're at go to jail speed. It's like, there's no point of this. It's like, basically when you buy one of these, you're basically saying, I'm gonna break the law. I am gonna break traffic law. Here you go, take my money, I'm about to go break traffic law. Like, it makes no sense why they even sell these, really. I'm glad they do. I mean, they can be enjoyed responsibly, but at the same time, it's like, you gotta crank it every once in a while. Like, maybe not driving like a complete maniac all the time, but yeah, it's a good bike. Would be better on a track. All you do is get to kind of go fast every once in a while. And they got some police out. Oh, they got some police. Got to do the signature motorcycle wave. That's actually dangerous. Like, I understand the camaraderie of the community and stuff, but sometimes, like, you can get distracted by a motorcycle wave, guys. So I understand everybody wants to be nice and, you know, everybody wants to do the wave. But at the same time, it's probably better just to pay attention and keep your hand on the bike. Unless maybe there's like absolutely nothing in front of you and you have enough self-control to quickly do it and quickly revert back to operating the vehicle. And this is kind of like my bike route. Like, this is just kind of, I kind of just put all the miles on this bike going this way. Because eventually, if I just keep going this way, traffic lightens up a bit. Whereas everywhere else you ride in the suburbs of Atlanta, it's going to be packed and you're not going to be able to get to use this machine. So unfortunately, in my area, you kind of got to ride out a little bit into the country to get some space so you can really open this thing up at least a couple of times safely without having to worry about it. The tracksuit helps because I feel like I have a shield on. I feel like I have just an armor shield on. So for those of you who don't know, I see a lot of people riding around all the time with their heels on the pegs. This is a big no-no. You want the balls of your feet, like right under your toes. That whole section where all your toes connect to your foot, that's the part you want on the peg. And you almost want your heels lifted up and pressing in to your hardware on the sides, because they have foot guards right there. You're meant to kind of hold those, and then you're also meant to kind of grip the tank with your knees, and there should be no weight virtually on your handlebars the entire time while you ride. I see a lot of people holding themselves up still on their handlebars. I see a lot of people riding with their heels on the pegs like they're riding a Harley. This is not a Harley. This is a race bike, so you will be in a constant race position. If you are not okay with being uncomfortable and learning how to be uncomfortable, you should not get a sport bike. You should get a cruiser. On the other hand, if speed is your mission and you're perfectly fine with being uncomfortable and learning how to be uncomfortable, then get this bike, but just learn how to ride it. You can't just hop on this thing and go. It's not one of those bikes. There is a specific style you have to know how to turn. You know, you put your leg out while your other leg is pushing into the tank. You're putting your other leg out. You're shifting your body forward and off to the side towards the turn. And your butt cheek is going to hang off. You're going to have one butt cheek hanging off the side. do yourself a favor, learn the riding position, build up the strength in your legs and your core and your back to just maintain the weight off the handlebars and be comfortable moving around on the bike. You got to move from left to right on the bike in the turns. You can't just stay in the middle of the bike stationary. Your whole spine from head to butt needs to be in line and hanging off the bike a little bit. Like I said, one butt cheek off. If I'm making a left turn, I'm gonna position my body to hang off the left side of the bike. And I'm gonna position my one butt cheek. I'm actually gonna stand up on the pegs and position my one butt cheek off to the side. And then I'm gonna take my head and put it over here and go and kind of lean forward. And always be accelerating through the turn. A smooth acceleration through the turn. You don't ever want to brake in the middle of a turn. That is going to fuck you up bad. Especially if you have to do a hard brake. You want to do all your braking before you begin to lean the bike. Okay? And just practice, guys. I've been riding since I was 17 years old. I'm 33 now. I've never been to a track, but I have watched a lot of content on how to properly ride these bikes. I have implemented the things that I have learned, and I've just stuck with it. And it almost comes naturally, too. Since I've been riding so long, I've almost feel like I've figured out some of these things just from riding the bike as much as I've ridden them in my life. But definitely give yourself a head start and just watch as much content as you can and just try to implement what you've learned. Of course, make sure you've learned the correct thing. Make sure you're comprehending correctly, and make sure you're watching content where somebody knows what they're talking about. Shoot, I'm probably not even experienced enough to be telling people how to ride, but I have been riding for 16 years. Not the longest, but certainly a considerable amount of time behind the handlebars of one of these bikes. I started on a 600. My first bike was a 2005 Suzuki GSXR 600. I think everybody's first bike was a Gixxer. And then I had a 2003 Honda F4i CBR 600. And then I had the 2005 Kawasaki ZXR 636. And that was an awesome bike. Kawasaki left an impression on me after owning that bike. That bike was just so solid, and I felt like could take a lot of abuse, like a lot of, just hard accelerations and even clutch up wheelies. Like, it didn't care. It was just a beast, that bike was. And then later on in life, I saw this R1S. It was black, silver, and had neon yellow rims. A little acceleration there. But yeah, that R1S was pretty cool. Wound up getting rid of that. Then I got a 2019 Kawasaki ZX10. Then got rid of that. Now I got this. I just like the style, the look of the Yamaha bikes. I like the engineering. I wish they were as generous as Kawasaki is, as far as, including some extra stuff for the same price. But I'm just going to hope that, I've gained some quality instead. then perhaps I have. To the max pass. Look, it's a Scooby-Doo, man. Get Drew, is that Cletus? Dude, that might be Cletus, dude. What if that's Cletus? I'm going to follow the Scooby-Doo mobile, dude. Dude, if that's Cletus, I'm gonna my pants. Let's see if this is Cletus. Because I know Cletus has a Scooby-Doo mobile. I don't think it's this one. Dude, I love that. That's not Cletus. What is up? We're taking the Slingshot out, but we're also taking the Mustang GT out. I mean, which one you got money on in a race? I don't know, but I think we might find out today. Let's go. Cold start Slingshot. You can't hang with the slingy. You can't hang with the slingy, bud. I know, you're warming up. You look pretty cool in that Mustang there. How you like that? How you like that fresh oil? I think off the line, the Slingshot might get it, but I think the Mustang's going to overtake it at some point, for sure. It might start to rip it off the line in that low 40s kind of mile per hour range. I think it might start to take it. We're looking for all the smoke today, guys, in the 2021 Slingshot R-LE. Got the Mustang GT in front of us. All I smell, is exhaust. Behind the Mustang GT, behind the tuned Mustang GT is not a good place to be. I'm breathing in 90% burned gas. We're gonna get a chance to rip it here in a second. All right, we're gonna get in a pull here. No way! I got demolished. Yeah, this thing's not gonna be quick, high speed. It kept up at least. Oh no! She smoked me easily. There seems to be a discrepancy about who takes who at a 20 roll. From the tuned Mustang GT to my 2021 Slingshot R limited edition. Just to recap, the Slingshot R has got 203 horsepower at a curb weight of about 1,650 pounds. The Mustang GT, and this is and the Slingshot R is all stock. The Mustang GT is a 2020 Mustang GT base model, so lighter seats, a little bit lighter than the premium models. It's also tuned by Bama, has full long tube Corsa headers and exhaust, and it is a 6-speed manual, just like the Slingshot, except the Slingshot is 5-speed manual. My girlfriend is driving the Mustang GT, and I am in the Slingshot. And we're gonna settle this once and for all. You know, I took the Mustang GT a couple times from a 20 roll, and it seemed like the Mustang GT couldn't keep it up. But I think it honestly, when I was doing my full review video of this Slingshot R, I had mentioned that this Slingshot R has a similar power to weight ratio as these 2020 Mustang GTs. You figure Mustang GT is 400 and a tuned Mustang GT with long tube headers and exhaust. You figure it's probably about 430 horsepower to the wheel. And if that thing's getting about 430 horsepower to the wheel at what, 3,700 pounds, maybe 3,500 pounds, that means the Slingshot R weighs half that, so it only needs half the horsepower. The Slingshot weighs at, like I said, 1,650. So this thing only needs about 203 horsepower to equal the same amount of speed. Not really clear enough for what we want to do. See, the Slingshot R can pull on the Mustang GT. Like I said, very similar power to weight ratio. So these Slingshots are not like the old models that we've seen before. You know, where they only had 170 something horsepower. 203 horsepower, I think, is the right number for this. And it's great on gas. So if you want a pretty cool vehicle for cheaper than a Mustang GT, about as fast as a Mustang GT, you could settle for a Slingshot R. And, you know, although you don't have air condition or heat or protection from the rain or the sun, what you do get is an open top experience, which is unlike anything else. And that is worth driving it in the elements. Mustang GT can't catch it. Mustang GT can't catch the Slingshot. Once again. Stopped by a car. It was neck and neck. I was only stopped by the vehicle in front of me there. Otherwise, it was certainly neck and neck. Here we go. It's very evenly powered. Very evenly powered. And that's basically what this video is going to prove. These are basically neck and neck every race. Fourth gear pull. Mustang got it on the fourth gear pull. But from second or third, the Slingshot will overtake the Mustang. Well, it won't overtake it, but it'll stay in front. So general consensus so far, after the limited amount of tests that we've run Slingshot R versus Mustang GT, tuned Mustang GT, it seems that it is a very even and equal power to weight ratio setups. It's very evenly matched. It seems like it's all about who gets the hit, really. And not to mention we're shifting our own gears, so there's some level of skill involved and quickness with shifting. So I don't know, but I know that the shifting in the Slingshot R is going to be faster than the automatic transmission you can get in the Slingshots, in the new Slingshots, because those things are slow. And I know the 10-speed automatic Mustang GTs are pretty fast. So I want to say, if it were an automatic transmission matchup between the Mustang GT and the Slingshot R, I would go on a limb and say that the Mustang GT would take it probably every time. But manual transmission versus manual transmission, it's tough. Because I wonder if I was driving that Mustang GT and she was driving this Polaris Slingshot, if I would have any trouble pulling away from this Slingshot. Because I can drive that Mustang pretty quick, I can shift it pretty fast, and not to brag, but I'm probably a little better of a shifter than her. I'm probably a little better of an operator of that car than she is. She's been driving manual transmission for probably about 2 years now. I've been driving manual transmission for, 17 plus years. So if you want a Slingshot R, just know you are probably going to get more than what you bargained for, because most people don't even realize that these new variants, all new engines, naturally aspirated, revs out to dang 8,200 RPMs, 203 horsepower to the crank with 1,650 pounds. I mean, and that power to weight ratio is really practically identical to a tuned and modded Mustang GT. So I didn't even really realize that until after I had purchased this Slingshot. I purchased it with kind of initial expectations of it to be not much greater than the previous generation, and the previous generations were just not fast at all. Whereas these new generations, you definitely feel a difference. This engine tune they got on these R versions are really doing it. And it's the engine. I got to give all the credit to this naturally aspirated high revving engine they got in here, because that's just super cool for a Slingshot to have. We got all this rev range, kind of like a motorcycle or like an exotic car. This thing looks very exotic. But yeah, thank you guys for checking out this comparison. It was not really much of a comparison. It was really more of a speed comparison. So thank you guys for checking out this speed comparison I've done here with the modified 2020 Mustang GT manual versus the 2021 stock Slingshot R manual. Like I said, the consensus is that these are evenly powered machines. So you are not getting anything less than Mustang GT speed when you buy one of these Slingshot R's, especially if you go with the manual transmission and you're good at shifting it. So you can definitely take this Slingshot out to, a car event. You can go out cruising with your buddies, and they're gonna have a hard time keeping up with you unless they're rolling in something like a Hellcat or something crazy like a Z06 or you know, maybe some Shelby Mustang, they're gonna have a hard time leaving you in the dust. I tell you that. You will not get left in the dust. This thing looks mean, it looks exotic, and it plays the part quite well in the let's go fast department. And this thing is just such a joy to drive. I love driving this thing. And it's just so good on gas. I mean, I'm saving $50 at the pump every time I go fill up in comparison to my wide body Scat Pack. I'm quite literally saving about $50 a fill up. And I get just as much fun out of this thing. Because it's just as fast. I would have loved to race the Scat Pack in this Slingshot R, because that Scat Pack, that wide body Scat Pack, has got a lot of down low power. Like first and second gear, those things pull in that 392. That thing pulls hard from a dig. This Mustang is kind of like all around pretty fast. But this Mustang GT doesn't see the level of traction that wide body Scat Pack is going to see with those 305s on the rear and all around. That thing just grips the road so good. And this thing gets a lot of looks, especially in the wintertime, because I think people don't expect to see these riding around in the wintertime. I think it's great in the wintertime, as long as it's not snowing or got snow on the ground. And I added these carpet floor mats to the bottom, because that floorboard area seems to get scuffed up pretty bad if you don't put something on it. A lot of dirty feet getting on it over time would just make it look really bad. So I went ahead and got these black carpets and tossed them in here, and it's doing the job pretty well.
Thanks everyone for checking out my videos today. I really appreciate it. I put a lot of time and effort into making these. It's just me by myself. So I really appreciate it if you do press the subscribe button or the like button. It's kind of like giving me a free tip. You know, it doesn't cost you anything, but it's helping me. So it's giving me like a reward for all the hard work that I'm doing, shooting this content, editing it. So thanks again if you're one of those people helping me grow into a real channel. And I'm gonna keep the content coming. Slingshot R, Yamaha R1, and Tuned Mustang GT. Drop a comment below and let me know what y'all want to see me do with any of these machines. If there's anything you want to know, if there's some type of content you want me to put together that you have an idea for, let me know in the comments, and I'll see if I can make it turn into a reality video just for you guys. All right, thanks everyone. I'll see y'all next time.